Hi, it's Ellen from Crazy for You, and I am here with a little bit of information about blocking so that if you finish a garment or something at home and you would like to block it, that you'll know what to do and that you'll have the tools. So let me turn this around real quick and I will show you. So here we are. I like the Cocoknits blocking knitter's blocks. It's a blocking kit. It comes in a cute bag and it's got 18 of these fabric covered interlocking pads. You've probably seen something like this at the store. It's just a, I don't know, some kind of, polyvinyl, whatever. But this is actually very different. It does have that substance on the back, but on the front you have a very nice textured fabric that wicks moisture away from the garment to be blocked, and it also keeps the garment from slipping. And speaking of slipping, you have this lovely blocking cloth. It's a piece of gingham that's marked off in 1-inch squares, and the fabric of the blocking squares keeps the blocking cloth from slipping at all. I go ahead and when I'm ready to block something, as I am blocking my sweater back here, is I lay out my blocking squares, and it's nice because you can just put as many out as you want and you can put them wherever you want them. I happen to be on my kitchen counter. So you lay out the blocking squares and then you're going to spread your blocking cloth on top of it. I put a little pin in just for extra security. And then you have this wonderful big space with a 1-inch grid to ensure that you're blocking your garment to the right size and to the right shape. So the lines on this blocking cloth help you keep your garment edges square and make sure that it's as wide as it needs to be and as long as it needs to be. So if you've taken a blocking class with me before in the past, you know that I don't typically wet block things, but this is, for whatever reason, this combination of yarn and my knitting style and the stitch pattern biased quite a bit. So you can see that it should be a symmetrical raglan as it is now, but when it came off my needles, it was a little bit skewed. So I gave it a really good soak in some warm water and eucalyptus, and then put it in a towel and rolled the towel up and squeezed out most of the water. So when it was time to block it, it's pretty much dry. It's just very, very, very lightly damp. But that soak in the water allowed the fabric and the fibers to relax so that I could shape it into a symmetrical piece of fabric like it needed to be. It also allowed the fabric to bloom a little bit. This is Kid Classic, which is a blend of mohair and wool, and when it has a little bath like that, it really does open up and becomes a very, very lovely, lovely fabric. So that's the overview. Then when you're actually going to block your fabric, your garment, you're going to be working from your schematic. And my schematic said that for the size that I was making, it needed to be 23 3/4 inches. So I started actually over here. I put my pin here and I counted over 23 3/4 inches. And then I put my other pin there. And then I pinned it all along the bottom, along that line of gingham fabric, so that it was all even. And then I looked at my schematic and it said that from the hem all the way up to the neckline needed to be 33 inches. So I start down at the bottom, count up, 33, and I put my pin up here in the center top to make sure that the length is 33 inches. And then I counted over. So this is almost 24. I counted 12 inches over from either side to make sure that I was centered. And then once you get that in place, you can see that the raglan line of the armholes just kind of falls into place. So when you have those external measurements, so the full width, the full height, and that you're centered, then you can just sort of pin your fabric along the guideline of the gingham to make sure that it's nice and square, nice and straight. And it's really very, very easy and not nearly as intimidating as I guess it seems if you haven't done it before. So that's just a quick look, and like I said, the Cocoknits blocking set is great. I have them on the website, and they come with 18 of the squares, a cute little carrying case. There's some pins, there's a little bottle of eucalyptus for you to block stuff in, and I really like it. It just tucks away in the closet, and then you always have it. Another thing that's nice about this blocking set is, as I said, you have 18 squares. So if I were blocking a really long shawl, I could make it as wide as I need it to be. I have plenty of squares left over. So if it were a long skinny shawl, I could spread those out, you know, on the floor or wherever and make it just exactly the size that I need it to be. If it were triangular, I could arrange it like that also. So I hope that helps, and if you're interested, look for the blocking kit on the website under Knitter's Blocks. That'll be under Tools on the website. So talk to you soon.